Thanks for sitting tight with us, folks. A lot of consumers are finding that detergent pods make a dirty job just a little bit cleaner and more convenient. Chore masters may not be the only ones attracted to these power packets. Our pets may like them too, but for the wrong reasons. To tell us why, we got our pet vet, Dr. David Visser, here in studio to tell us the risks our furry family members face with some pods like these.
Well, you know, it is really nice and convenient, and we don't like cleaning, that kind of thing. And so anything that makes these jobs a little bit easier makes some sense as to why things go in that direction. But when we have created pods, they make things very easy for us, but they make it very attractive for pets and children for that matter.
Yeah, and for people who don't know too much about these detergent pods or haven't maybe seen these before, I see you've got some examples here. Why don't you break down, what these really are actually?
So these pods are basically little packets of the concentrated ingredients. So instead of it being a messy pour that or a powder that you have to put in your laundry or in your dishwasher, these pods actually contain all the ingredients that you need, and just with one grab and one toss into the wash or the dishwasher, these things will be much easier for us. The trouble is that they come in these very attractive packages that really are not a whole lot different from this Skittles pack.
Right.
But some of these pods are in a soft form and others are in a block form. The block form is actually one I didn't bring today, but can also be a problem because of the concentrated ingredients, and it can be problems as well.
Yeah, well, we do know what happens when humans or kids or teens get into some of these pods. There was that strange fad just a couple of years ago.
Exactly.
But what happens when pets play with these?
Well, it's the chemical that is in there. It's a surfactant, and there's also some other ingredients that can be very super irritating to the digestive tract and the respiratory tract. So when these pods are swallowed, a large dog may actually swallow one whole. A small dog or a cat may actually just play with it or pierce it. But one of the most common signs reported by the poison control centers is vomiting. This, of course, is because of the irritating effect on the surface of the digestive tract, and that can be a significant thing, and the nausea that goes along with it. A lot of pets will also get this in their respiratory tract, and that can result in some difficulty breathing, either because of direct contact on the larynx that causes it to swell closed, or actually down into the respiratory tract. But a lot of times this can also get into the eyes or onto the skin, but when this affects pets in a significant way, it can cause not only the nausea, but it can cause them to lose a lot of fluids. Through that vomiting, they can become lethargic in that process as well. There have been reports that this has been so significant that pets can pass away from this condition as well. And I think there's a lot of differences in the way children may play with this versus the way pets will play with it, and I think that also creates some of the differences, because more than 70% of pets that have been exposed will come down with illness compared with fewer children.
Yeah, why do pets show more signs of problems?
It's not a difference in the sensitivity to the ingredients, but rather the strong jaws. That's the difference. And of course, a large dog being able to swallow a whole pod, causing that either blockage or obstruction, is one issue. But the other thing is that when they do pierce or chew down on these things, it can actually shoot the ingredients back into the respiratory tract. It's not so easy for a pet to be interested in a powder or a liquid that's spilled to be able to have continued contact. They'll walk away from that, whereas with these, one large exposure can cause that difficulty. Aspiration of these ingredients is probably the most significant sign. When that gets into the respiratory tract, that can cause the life-threatening issues.
Yeah, so what can pet owners do if their pet does get into one of these pods?
If they get into one of these pods, first of all, don't wait for the signs. You need to call your veterinarian right away, but first aid is important at home. One of the things that's going to be important is if you know that it's been in the mouth, you need to rinse the mouth out very, very well. If you know that contact has occurred with the eyes in the same sort of manner, use ideally an eye wash solution to rinse that out, or contact solution as a last resort. But if there's been ingestion of this, your veterinarian may not advise causing vomiting to get rid of those ingredients. So follow their advice, but get the urgent care. Prevention is probably the most important thing. If you think about where these things are stored, it's down in their area if it's the dishwasher stuff. So make sure those cabinets are secure.
Yeah, keep those cabinets closed, or keep those up in a high spot where your pets can't get them.
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Visser. And if you
welcome.
want to contact the pet vet, you can reach him at the Center for Animal Health by calling 888-PETS-VETS. And you can always shoot him an email at michianapetvet@comcast.net. We'll be right back with more 16 News Now Saturday morning.